Okay, so I think we're live. Welcome to Millennial Talk Tuesday with House in the Car. My name is Leslie Ann Seal. I'm a realtor with Halo Realty. I'm a member of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, a proud ambassador of House in the Car. And I'm here with my lovely co-host, Sasha Allen. Sasha, let's hear a little bit about you.
Hi, I'm Sasha Allen. I am a realtor here in Monterey County, California. I'm also a member of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers. I'm with eXp Realty as well. And today we have a special guest. Her name is Cassandra Character. Welcome, Cassandra.
Hi, everybody. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for having me. As Sasha said, my name is Cassandra Character, born and raised in Monterey. I'm a mom and wife. I currently work for a telecommunications company here in Monterey. I'm currently working on my personal brand and just trying to get engulfed in this whole self-love coaching thing that I'm working on, and just busy with life, trying to make things happen.
Yes. But most importantly, you are a millennial.
I am a millennial. Yes, that's the most important thing. I am a millennial.
And before we go any further, first of all, since we're millennials, we talk about being millennials, and since we're popping and everything, this is a midday mimosa moment. I'm just because we're gonna get down with since it's ladies here, we're gonna get down with the girl chat, and we're gonna have a little talk about us boss babes and how we level up using real estate. And from what I understand, Sasha, you and our special guest have a personal relationship, don't you?
Yes, we do. Yes, we actually met through a mutual friend who's been on the show as well, Dominique Davis, I know. So we actually met through Dominique, and me and Cassandra just hit it off right away. And she was, kind of had some questions regarding the home buying process and how I can help with that. So I'm like, you know what? Come on over here to Millennial Talk Tuesday and let's get all your questions answered.
Exactly.
So now, where are you in the home buying process? Are you just thinking about buying a home, or have you started to look? Where are you in this?
It's so funny because over the last couple of years, my husband and I, we've been going through a lot of transition, a lot of changes. So we finally reached this point where we settled and we're trying to look to the future, and we're working on different businesses and things like that. So the home buying process just kind of came into the conversation. It wasn't a thing like, we're going to buy a house. It's more so, okay, so what's next on the list? These are the things we want to do. What's the time frame for it? So it kind of just organically happened. Our time frame is the next 18 to 24 months. My husband is currently full-time school doing electrical engineering, and that's his main focus. So I'm trying to get all the groundwork going, to get the money going, the finances together. So we have a time frame, but there was no decision like it's time to buy a house. It kind of just organically happened. I think it's something we've always wanted to do. My husband wants to live in the Bay Area on the peninsula. That's a lot of goals, a lot of planning to make that happen. So, we're just trying to figure out what's going to work best for us at this point, but we're on the track to do it. We're just now starting the process, getting the finances together.
Yeah.
Well, what I love is that you guys have realistic goals set as far as the timeline. You really want to look into what it's going to take for your finances. What is the purpose of purchasing a home? Is the purchase of the home simply just to have your residence, or is the purchase supposed to be more of an investment, something that we're going to get this and then we intend to move on with further investment properties, building generational wealth in mind? So have you guys thought about that portion of what your intention is in this first initial purchase?
Yes, we're buying a duplex. That's our first goal. We're not trying, because honestly, since we've been together, we've always been the type to move and travel. Like in the past 10 years, we lived in LA and the Bay Area. So we travel back and forth. So we don't really want to have a place that's permanent. We don't want to buy this big house we're not going to be in, versus a duplex that allows us to build wealth and income while we're looking for something else. So our plan is, what we'd like to do is buy a duplex in San Jose and have it opened up for other engineers that are currently in school that like to rent out rooms. That's what our plan is. But either way, a duplex will be the first purchase.
Well, I am a big proponent in millennials building generational wealth with real estate and starting off as investors. I'm Yo, my happy dance is on because you don't understand like the stability that you're giving your family. And and I'm gonna get personal because like in my situation, I was a healthy woman. I had started my family very young, and my husband was already disabled at the time. He was on dialysis. So we knew we were already starting off, rough. And he already had a son. And
Mhm.
so our finances laid on my shoulders, in the same position that yours are, just different circumstances. But
Exactly.
unfortunately, unexpected to all of us, I became ill and we did not have any kind of investments. We didn't have anything. And
Mhm.
so unfortunately, when the main breadwinner became ill, everything fell apart. And we literally had to move here, there, everywhere. I had to move my family from New Jersey all the way to Georgia. And it was horrific. That's a hard thing when your health disturbs your entire being and the
Exactly.
stability of your family. But doing what you're doing and working with someone fabulous like my friend Sasha here is that you're giving your family stability, because had we invested in a multifamily home and the same situation had happened, we would have had a
Mhm.
renter who would have secured our home. That renter is going to pay your mortgage, it's going to pay your taxes and your utilities, depending on if you are a good landlord and you maintain a quality of home that you can put on market for top quality, you get top quality rent, you will be secure. So it is
Mhm.
a very, very smart thing for your family, especially when you don't have urgency. You know, when you got everybody's throat on your neck, that's not the time to be thinking
Yeah, but you know what? That's the beauty of this show, because it's really getting that information out there. Getting people thinking about what if this happens to me? What am I going to do next? So it's just really planning for the future, that we just trying to educate the people.
Exactly. And that's something that's important for both millennials with children and without children. Your health is not guaranteed and tomorrow is not promised, regardless of anything.
Exactly.
And we have to do our due diligence in planning for our financial future. Just even thinking about retirement, like, woo, is everybody watching the news and the politics? I'm just saying, it's a little hard out here in these streets. It's
It is
a little hard out
100%.
here in these streets. I can't quite trust everything to everybody that's supposed to be in charge of everything. But what I can do is I can trust my brain and my knowledge and the resources available through programs like House in the Car, where you can go on their website and you can find out about your credit and you can find ways to address your finances and get your ducks in order. So that way you can have the financial stability that my family should have had. And when you start with such a crash, a lot of things end up going down the wayside. Unfortunately, I'm no longer married, not all to do with the health, but I'm just saying things happen and families go through more than they need to when there's additional stresses of, let's just be real. We are in the United States and we're African Americans. And
Right.
if you watch my YouTube videos, you'll understand a little bit of what I'm going through as far as just the red tape of trying to live and and even exist and be healthy. If you have health problems, you're forced to stay in low poverty level just to
Mhm.
keep your health insurance. And that's just crazy in and of itself. So we
It
have to
is.
find these crazy and creative ways to level up our finances and level up our assets while sometimes keeping down our cash day to day. And I found ways it's possible to level up. And that's where we start getting into LLCs and building generational wealth and protecting your assets, keeping it separate from your personal finances. So that way, just in case anything happens, the devil is a lie on we're going to build and we're going to grow. You may have
Exactly.
built a system that was meant to keep us down, but no, 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 smart.
Yeah, exactly.
Queen
Yeah.
vibes, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm just
Exactly. No, I totally agree with you, because me and as we're talking about this, how we have to find ways to start looking amongst ourselves to better our situation. We can't go to the people that oppress us and actually ask for permission as well to do things. So the more we actually find ways to build our individual wealth and then reach out and help each other and figure that out, the better we'll all be as a people. So I totally agree with you. Like, there's so much oppression everywhere you look. And if you fall for it, you'll be stuck in the same place all the time. Like, it takes education, it takes knowing people that have the education to teach you, you know? So I think that this is so awesome. You guys are actually having this platform, teach us what to do and how to go about things, because we don't have this. This is not what you're taught every day. Like,
And you
you
know
have to
what?
seek this.
That actually brings up a topic. Who did you see growing up? You know, how many homeowners were there in your family, in your immediate family, you know?
Right. That's the thing. Like, my mom, it's so funny when I say this story because nobody believes me. My mom has had the same house my entire life. She's been the only homeowner in this house. She's been the only person. She's never lost, never been afraid of loot. Actually, take that back. She almost lost it and got it back. But the point is that my mom was been the example of home ownership my entire life. Like, I've never not lived in a house growing up. You know what I mean? Like, the same house. Like, my child's in the house I grew up right now. You know, so I have examples of that. But I think now the times have changed, because back then it was, you go to work, you get a paycheck, you pay your bills, you'll have a home. Very, very simple back in the 70s and the 80s, a very simple system, right? Outside of the prejudice that went along with that. But you know what I mean? Like, it's very simple. Now you have to have multiple streams and trick of the trade to get to where you want to be. There's no 9 to 5 that's going to make you rich. There's not a single one. There's no 9 to 5 that's going to truly make you comfortable and have your own time, you know? So I think that that's where the LLCs and the multiple streams of income come in. The real estate comes in as well, because real estate's the quickest way to wealth, I think.
Let me tell you something. The real estate I knew when I got sick was the first and only way that I could legally level up. And I mean level it up. Can't nobody gonna tell you to stop selling houses, Pooh. They're not gonna do that. They're not gonna do that. The more you make, the more they'll be like, yeah, girl, keep making, keep making, keep making. Like that. Real estate is one of the only industries where, yeah, you might get a little, competitive between other agents.
Yeah.
On who's the most popping, but Love, Melon, and Magic, let's go for that one. You know what I'm saying? Like, nobody can be mad that you're selling homes. So I knew, first of all, that was like a number one priority. As soon as I got sick, I didn't care what condition I was in, I had to get my real estate license. And I just got licensed January 2019. And that was a feat.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? That was a feat. I was working full time at a car dealership as a sales admin. Then I would go to real estate school for 4 hours in the evening. Then I was doing DoorDash and Postmates because the girls got kids and bills. And I did that for 3 weeks. And then I got my real estate license. And, and shout out to Paul Verdici. I'm just saying, he's my boss. But this man blessed me after one conversation and paid for my real estate license without knowing me. And so I've been determined, like, oh yeah, we got to level up. Because I know what I'm worth. I'm finally, at 37, we're figuring out what we're worth.
Come on, girl. There you go.
And let me tell you something. Oh no, I see billions. I see billions, and I see big lights, and I see big things. And I like to inspire people to dream big, because who told Oprah she couldn't be Oprah? Oprah didn't anybody tell her she could or couldn't be Oprah. And let's be real, Oprah didn't pop off until what age? What? Melanie,
I think she was like,
in her late 40s, mid to late 40s, something like that. Yeah, she ain't even in her 40s, so I feel like I'm early. Well, what? We early, Sasha. We early arriving. All of us, we early. We millennials, and we early. So I love to inspire people in that way.
Right. And I think everyone should have a real estate license. I mean, I might be a little biased, of course, but it is the quickest way to wealth. And I mean, these checks are nice, but you have to know what to do with them when they come, because I'm not gonna lie. This money grow wings and fly right on out the window.
Well, and this is more the purpose of this show as well. Is that we want everyone to be responsible with your money. That's the whole point of the program. House, then the car, Pooh. We want you to build your assets, and then let your assets then allow you to have luxurious expenditures and liabilities.
Exactly.
But your assets are always growing, and that while you rest your pretty head, you have money doing that work, all for you while you sleep. If you don't have money working it out while you sleep, you need not be buying Gucci, Fendi. You need not be doing all of that stuff for the gram, because it's counterproductive. Now, as you mentioned before, it is a different age. We cannot just go to one job, and unless you're a realtor and you got hustle and drive and you're smart, that's the only one job that you can get to the bag real quick. And if that is the case, we do have a whole academy that we just launched on House in the Car, where you can get licensed in every state, all 50 states. Oh, wow. Run on down to House in the Car. Oh yes, girl, we got resources. We got resources.
Sasha, I like her. How come we haven't met before? Her energy is through
Really
the
great, but I'm
roof.
on my way. I'm on my way. Look, don't get me acting too much.
Lovely
'Cause
girl.
this is our first show of the
Yes.
new season, girl. So don't get me out of pocket too much. I'm just saying I'm a lot. But
Yeah.
You're
this really
great.
though, I'm very passionate about this platform, especially because right now I'm not able to show homes. I'm just getting used to this motorized wheelchair life, girl. It's cute. Crash Bandicoot is kind of cute, but who, you know what I'm saying? So while I can't do what I normally do, I want to pour everything I have into this platform right here, because this can reach billions. This can inspire that Black girl and Black boy magic, the young kings and queens, to get up and say, hey, we smart enough to level up. And then I get to say, hey, there's tax exemptions. When we mention that Trump name, people get upset, but I watch him for a different reason. Okay. That man was able to level up his assets while he was making a whole lot of liabilities, if you follow the real numbers. And this is how people of that nature and persuasion level up. Because when you're talking about numerous streams of income, right? Now, anybody who's promoting themselves on Instagram, anything you've worn on the gram is a tax write-off.
Yes.
These are ways that you get the government who seeks to hold us down and gives us all these stupid loopholes and things that make us leave states and move all around because we're sick, which is a dumb reason to have to leave your family. Well, guess what? All those tax exemptions that the big corporations use to not pay taxes, they're available to us all. They're not special. Ain't no just for men's club type stuff. Like, no, but we all can do these things. And so this is the platform where we're able to, well, I was gonna say sip the tea, but girl, we sipping mimosas. We gonna sip mimosas,
but
we
no,
gonna give the facts.
Lots of streams of income. Just to be able to save for a down payment. There is down payment assistance, but at the same time, our average sales price here is $750 right now. So I mean,
it's not cheap. However, there are ways to do it. And again, as somebody like me literally speaking from experience and having to keep my income on paper Medicaid level for my own health, because the jump for me to be able to afford my health, even when I was on Medicare, I all of a sudden became responsible for 20% of everything. And they were only giving me $2,000 a month, and I had 2 kids. Who but what? That's not even rent. That's not even rent. So how are you supposed to survive if what the government is giving you that you earn isn't even enough for rent for you and your 2 kids? But then you're expected to pay 20% of everything that the government just now was covering when you were on Medicaid. $2,000 a month is over Medicaid worthy. Like when you think about the actual numbers, and this is kind of why I've been a little more vocal lately, because people don't understand the constraints that are put on people like me and you and the rest of us. And when we get sick and when we run out of resources, you're in my position because I'm speaking from experience. As soon as you run out of everything in your bank, now you're over there at social services and you're sitting with me. And for people like me who do not want to be on welfare, for people like me who want to level up and have big dreams and big goals, it's very insulting, number one, the way we're treated and the way we're talked to. People talk to us like we're stupid. When I'm forced to be poor because I'm not healthy enough to take care of my health. My expenses, as you can see in a motorized wheelchair, how much we talking about? I've had surgeries with bills for $100,000 plus. Where is it coming from? So
Exactly.
I found ways where, like I said, if you're on Instagram, there are brands from the UK and from all over the world who are looking to market with legitimate US businesses, and they're looking for melanin magic. So the way I look at it is, if your brand has things that I like and that I want and that I would use anyway, especially if they're the nicer things that I generally just can't afford, it's now a business investment if I wear it on the gram. You see what I'm saying? Because this is marketing expenses. Same way everything, your hair, every picture, that hair is a write-off. I'm gonna need you to write it off, and please talk to your CPAs to make sure you get down with the get down, because I don't know everybody's specifics, everything. So she's not an attorney or a CPA, but I'm just saying, have the right people, because if you don't ask the right questions, they're just gonna do basic stuff with your taxes. They're not gonna look. I'm the one, I have to look for every nook and cranny, every penty.
Exactly. And that's why I think that
me be in this position. So I'm going to make you run every benefit that I'm due. And when you legitimize business with LLCs, then you qualify for legitimate PPP loans and legitimate things like this because you're reinvesting in your business, you're building your wealth. So,
and that's what we need to focus on, especially right now. I mean, all this money that's available for us, that's our down payment right there. That's our lump sum, our savings that we can be putting aside for fixing up a house or, something like that. So yeah, that's awesome. So Cassandra, why do you decide to start your home ownership journey at this point?
See, that's the thing. I'm not looking at home ownership to live somewhere. That's gonna happen at some point. Like that's gonna happen. I'm gonna have a house to live in. We're gonna be fine. Right now, it's about building wealth and finding money for the other things I want to do, the other businesses I want to start. You know what I mean? Like my husband, he's in school for electrical engineering, but that's not his goal. His actual passion is solar.
okay.
And so when he was in this, when he was in the solar industry, he was laid off due like right around the time when Trump was about to win presidency. That's when the solar industry lost a lot of its funding because that's not something that platform believes in. So he had to go back to school. So now the point of going back to school is to actually have the education behind him when he gets out to start building those homes. So we have plans with another set of a couple friends. My husband's best friend's wife is an architect, right? So they have plans to go into business together. So my goal is to start funding that revenue now. So when they start customizing and building homes, I have someone who's a sister, who's Millennial, who can build the homes, who can design the homes, my husband can build them. So our plan right now is to build up the wealth to do that long term. So I'm not looking for a place to live. I'm always have somewhere to live. That's not the goal. The goal is to find the money to do what I want to do so that we can build upon that. Does that make sense?
So these are true kingdom vibes. These are kingdom vibes. Because she want to play Monopoly, girl. That's what she's saying. We about to play Monopoly. We about to level up playing real life Monopoly. And that is one of the best ways to utilize real estate. Because if you do it properly and you do your due diligence, you can level up. And really, for people in your position, you could be looking to purchase anywhere, literally anywhere. It doesn't necessarily have to be in relationship to where you are, depending on the circumstances, and depending on the opportunity. If you find something that's excellent, you can go for it because your goal isn't to live there. You just have to make sure that it's something that's reasonable to maintain so that if there's any issues, you can, take care of them. But I think it's excellent.
Exactly. So, and we've taken, sorry, go ahead. We've taken real estate classes here and there, like about flipping and things like that. So we're knowledgeable in the industry, but we finally reached the point where we're ready to jump and do it. You know what I mean? Like you can talk all day and think about it all day and make all these plans in your mind all day long, but until you write it down and put some action to it, it doesn't mean anything. So at this point, we're finally there. So I'm super excited about it because there's so many possibilities. A real estate license has always been something that I've thought about, but I'm always the first to say, no, you shouldn't do that. You know what I mean? For whatever the reason, like it could not even be a legitimate reason, but I'm gonna find a reason to not do something, But I see the it's not glamorized for me. I see it more as a tool,
Yeah.
Like if you look at it that way, because I'm trying, it's so, especially when you're younger, it's so easy to get into things because you see the money behind it. You see the wealth, the materialistic things behind them. You know what I mean? But when you start actually looking at things as a tool to get you to the next step, it changes your mindset and it flips the way you see things. And I think I'm at that point now to where I see the power in real estate. I see the power in investing in myself. So that's my goal. I think it can happen sooner than 18 months, but 24 months is realistic. That's something that I know I can do. And if it happens before then, thank God. And I'm going to be grateful, but that's my goal. I think it's highly attainable. I really do.
Well, I think it's definitely an attainable goal. And I think that the next step logically, if I were you, would be to make sure that you talk to somebody in finance so they can tell you where you are and where you need to be based on the kinds of properties that you were thinking about looking into, whether you wanted something that's just straight new construction walk-in and you don't have to worry about a 203K rehab and all of those things, because that's the next level of questions that you're going to have to figure out. Do I want a rehab and fixer-upper and a true fix and flip? Because you can find broken down, duplexes, but then girl, that's work. You know what I'm saying?
Bruh.
And you got to figure out. That's why with real estate, it's very important, as you mentioned, to make sure that you understand your purpose. And in life, you got to understand your purpose in general. But in real estate, you need to understand your purpose, because if you don't have a passion for helping people find their home or helping people build generational wealth through real estate, then in my opinion, getting a real estate license is not for you, because you really need a passion for it. First of all, the test, only from what I understand, only 30% of people passed that mug, and it was some stuff. Okay, now I'm melanin magic, so I'm glad I passed the first try. But I'm just saying, in New Jersey, it was hard in these streets. It's not something to take lightly. But if you see real estate as more of, like you said, a tool where, look, I have dreams over here, but I know that I need this tool bag right here. That's when you holler at people like Sasha, say, hey girl, we got some things we need to do, because I need some investments and we need to level up this cash. How can we make this happen? And then you work with realtors like Sasha and someone with finance, and together they help you accomplish your dreams and your goals. So it all depends on why you want to do what you're doing to determine which way in real estate, you really want to go.
Yeah, I think that's the best thing. I think before, when we were talking about it, it was just a matter of just flipping homes. That's all you don't need a real estate license to flip a home, You just need connections. So,
Yes.
so I think that might be the route. But at the same time, I think personally, with my personality, I probably could sell a house or two. So,
You kind of fit the
you know what I mean? So that hasn't left me either. But I think I'm finally at the point of realizing that I have gifts and I'm trying to use them. So you never know what might come up. I might be texting Sasha talking about, girl, how'd you pass this test? You never know. Right. But the point is that I'm realizing now all the capability that lives within me, and I'm gonna make it happen regardless, So
you explore, and I encourage everyone, especially young people, you sit and spend time with you, figure out every bit of your flaws, your abilities, your strengths, your weaknesses. When you get to loving you from the top of your head to the bottom of your feet, flaws and all, then you really can stand in your glory in the sun, and you can let that melanin magic, bling, 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 because it's necessary. You know what I'm saying? And this is why platforms like House in the Car are just so extraordinary, and why I'm so passionate about them, because you can literally test out. Let me look over there and see what this California real estate license exam is looking like. Let me see if it's something I want to do, and the wonderful thing is, you always have time. Every day, God willing, that you open your eyes, there's another tomorrow to keep moving forward, further and forward in your plans. The point is to just keep moving forward, be positive and productive, and the sky is truly the limit. That's how my outlook on life. What do you think, Sasha?
Yeah, no, I totally agree with everything you just said. Now, I'm wondering about Cassandra. So how have you started financially planning for your investments?
Okay, so here's the thing. I've started with the little things, like returning things that I don't want that I bought saves money. Cutting back on subscriptions has saved me money. Eating at home has saved me money. Like, we're at the little steps right now, because that's how you make the intentional change, I think.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like, you can take a lump, you can get a lump sum of money and invest it and then do whatever it is with it. But to build a generational wealth and actually do the things you want to do, you have to change your routines, your regular routines, in order to see a significant increase. So that's where we're at right now, changing those things. We have a meeting with financial advisor next month to talk about what our actual goals are. But right now, we're just trying to save and just not spend unnecessarily. Like, that's so crucial. Like, the $16 for 2 coffees, like, what? Like, no, that can go towards, you know what I mean? That can go towards other things, So that's where we're at right now. My husband's dabbled into Bitcoin a little bit too, so we're trying to just dabble and figure out where we can find other sources of income while saving at the same time, if that makes sense.
No, that definitely makes sense. I mean, one of the hardest things is budgeting. You really have to start with budgeting. And if you don't have a budget, you have to really track your spending. If you sit down and you go back over like the last 6 months of your bank statements, and then you categorize that stuff, it will hurt your feelings sometimes. Yeah. and when it hurts your feelings, you got to sit in that,
That's
You gotta
true.
feel
And
it.
then next time you go to pull out that card, or next time you go to make those same kind of purchases, you gotta say, girl, you know, and you have to check yourself. But if you think that, oh, I'm saving, but you're not actually looking at the dollar amounts, that's a problem. Like you have to be very real with yourself.
Yeah.
Because let's be real estate is an investment. It's something serious. It involves your taxes, it involves the government, it's a lot. It's not
Yeah.
nothing to play with. So if you can't even be real with yourself about your own money, you ain't got no business getting involved,
Buying a
getting involved
house,
in anything that's
exactly.
around that.
You're
Like,
gonna be for a rude awakening once you sit down and talk to the lender, and they're gonna say, stop this,
Mhm.
stop this, stop this, you know, because you're not ready. So
Mhm.
it's something that you want to prepare for. And we actually do have a budgeting tool on the House in the Car website that you can use.
I'll be using it.
Play with it. Yeah. Kind of play with it, put in how much you owe now versus how much you want to pay off and all that. And, you know, it'll give you your new FICO scores and all that good stuff. So definitely check that out.
I will. That's so awesome. Thank you.
Mhm.
No, it sounds like you are well on your way to building an extraordinary legacy of Black wealth for your family. And I'm just pleased as punch that we were able to kick off our first new House in the Car Millennial Talk Tuesday with such a pop-in guest who,
Thank you so
is well on
much.
her way to just doing extraordinary things. Like, Sasha, what do you have to say? I'm just excited.
I want to say thank you so much to Cassandra, because I mean, your questions were great, and just sharing what you and your family plan to do in the future is awesome. I mean, it just gives people ideas to think about what's going on. You know, a lot of millennials, I think I don't know if it's the education, we weren't really taught what to do when you do come into money. And millennials are the biggest generation since baby boomers. So, you know, all that baby boomer wealth, you know, they're starting to, you know, go on to Jesus, so to speak. Passed down. That wealth is going to be passed down, and we need to be ready and know what to do with that money that's coming our way. So, I mean, Amazon don't need all our money all the time. Let's be honest.
You know, like that's another thing. Like we even talked about getting rid of Amazon Prime because that's the thing. Like when you ain't got to pay for shipping and it's at your house in a day or two, that's so tempting. But at the same time, it's like those crucial moments that happens. You got to be smart about all those things. You know what I mean? Like, so that's something that we're struggling with too. But we're gonna get there. Don't worry about it. We're gonna get there.
I have a lot of faith in you guys.
Yes. Don't worry about that part.
Yeah,
It's just about really training yourself when it comes to wants and needs. What do I want and what do I need? And you better get all your needs handled. And when you go to that want and they get to clicking it, I want a house.
Yeah. Oh, Cassandra, I want to ask you, do you have any fears or barriers that you have to overcome?
I think that I don't know if I have any when it comes to buying a home. I don't think I have any fears or barriers. I think that I need to get out of my own way and set a goal and stick to it. That's more so of what I'm worried about, like concerned with procrastination aspect of it. But I believe everything that's for me is going to happen when it's supposed to. Like it doesn't matter what Sasha has going on over here. What's for Cass is going to happen when it's supposed to happen. It's going to be grand when it happens, So I'm not so much focused on time. It's just more so getting out of my own way, having that plan, sticking to it and executing it properly and staying the course. Sometimes we get so excited about one thing, we jump the course and then think about something else. And versus staying with the path and staying with you know what I mean? Staying with the next task. I think that's what my goal is. As long as I do that, I can't see why there wouldn't be an issue that I can't get past, So I'm not really scared about anything. Just want to stay focused,
Real estate is a long-term investment at the end of the day. Like it's a long-term investment. So it is something that requires a plan. And as you said, staying the course. This ain't nothing that you just gonna hop in and hop out. We ain't playing double dutch up in here. Like we're not doing all that. Not real estate. No. Like this is too big of an investment. It's just too much time and attention that's necessary. So it is incredibly crucial and you are doing exactly what you're supposed to do. You do your due diligence. You set realistic goals, and then every day you do something to work towards them. Even if it's something small, as like you said, ooh, sis, we not stopping at Starbucks today. We ain't doing it. We ain't doing it. Even if you got to break it down like rehab, go from Starbucks to Quick Check. We just gonna level it down. We got to do something to help the budget. You know what I'm saying? We got ball on the budget. But you will get there. It's just about making incremental progress. You just keep moving forward, keeping positive, keeping productive. And as long as you have a plan, a logical plan, keyword logical. Please, logical people. That's where you talk to people like me and Sasha, and you find professionals who can guide you, or you go to resources like houseinthecar.com, where you can find reliable information to guide you towards what you want and to achieving your goals. Because that's really what it is. Ask and you shall receive. So if you don't get up, nobody's gonna go for you like you're gonna go for you. You know what I'm saying?
That part, exactly.
We gotta be proactive. And if you want something different, if everywhere that you're looking around is not up to the standards that you have set in your mind, or if there's a vision in your heart and soul of better and greater, it's your job to get on up and do them steps to get you there. Because I don't know Captain Save and I don't know the bat signal for them to come. You know what I'm saying? I've been waiting on that, but I don't.
There's no bat signal. I tried.
No, he ain't. You better strap up them boots and save yourself, girl. Save yourself. That's all we can do is save ourselves.
Yes, but we're capable of saving ourselves. We're capable of doing more than saving ourselves. We are capable of reminding these people why they sought to hold us down in the first place. We just have to remind ourselves.
Exactly.
Exactly. So
there's a reason why. Like that's. Hold on. Before we go, hold on. Since you brought that up, here I go. Listen, that's the thing we have to get out of that mindset of like, why are they oppressing us? Why are they doing this to us? They do this because of what we're capable of. That's what they fear is what we're capable of. So if we actually get into the mindset and realize that everything they have, we can go after it and get it. That's when things change for us and for them. You know what I mean? Like that's the mindset we have to have.
We were conditioned to look at planning and things like being fiscally responsible and all those things is boring. She boring. In the name of love and hip hop. Let me tell you something. The reason why a lot of people still stuck on love and hip hop is because they ain't doing nothing with their love and hip hop money except putting it into their weaves and their clothes. That's the problem. Okay. And that's why we have to look popping shows like ours, because we're gonna show people we can be cute, we can have a budget, and we can level up our income and watch how fast they're gonna see how making a plan is popping, plan.
Exactly.
That's how I see it, because it's about perception. You know what I'm saying? We've been conditioned to feel like we're incapable. But if we look at the history of this nation and the world, we have built everything. So how are we incapable? And furthermore, who would go through this much effort to put down this much of a complex plan?
Exactly.
Specific group of people. Now, we ain't gonna digress, but I'm just saying, in the name of the Melanin Masters here, that's the point. That is the point. I want to ignite the little souls and flames, in the name of, Black is King with Beyonce, girl. We gonna, from the motherland, we gonna bring it up in this show and send them out, an army of young kings and queens building empires and protecting those empires.
Exactly.
And then watch how fast they change the tax law, girl. All them exemptions is gonna go right out the window. Look, right out the window. Too many of us start making money. Now all of a sudden, all the things we've been saying are going to be magically important. You know what I mean? Like,
exactly.
It's about, we are the catalysts for change, but it's just not in the way necessarily we've been looking at it. Yelling, hooping and hollering, stomping, breaking things and acting up and cutting up ain't never brought us nothing but more heartache and sorrow and frustration. And that's just the reality. We have to outsmart and outmaneuver. And that's really where we let Black excellence shine. So it's platforms like this, it's discussions like this that are really going to impact our youth and let them see that being responsible is nothing to be ashamed of, and it's something to be admired, and that we're fully capable of doing extraordinary things if we work together in the sense in the system of community and fellowship and love, and putting the power of positivity forward. knowing that everything you put out into the world comes back like a boomerang. And I'd rather have happiness and joy and wealth slap me in the back of my head than foolishness. Like,
and no, you're right. Honestly, I love your energy. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so glad I met you. I'm blessed. I'm better for meeting you, Leslie. I really am. Like, your spirit is out of control, and I appreciate you so much. You have no idea. No idea. Thank you so much.
Sasha, look, my Mary Kay sister Sasha right here. She's so lovely. Like, she's
girl, she's recruiting me too. I got the text. She's recruiting me too.
Like, you don't even want to know what me and Sasha be up to these days, and I'm bored too in this wheelchair from home. Oh, I'm gonna be bothering Sasha on a whole lot of levels. But we are blessed to have this platform, and we are blessed to have you here. You know, just to be a shining example of yet another millennial building a kingdom and being responsible and showing that you can be beautiful, melanated, and magical, and you can build wealth. And everything that they've been saying about us, every depiction of us that they have out in there that's negative, we will prove otherwise.
Exactly.
And that's what this is about. And I'm just pleased as punch that you are our first guest for our new first season episode. You know, and that we are many more to the next midday mimosa.
No, thank you. Thank you so much.
This was so much fun.
You guys, not next week, but our next episode is we're gonna have a financial coach on.
That's what I'm saying, girl. We get to the money next time. Get to the money.
Exactly.
Cool.
So that'll be next episode. Please tune in. Come with your questions. All right. Share your thoughts, whatever opinions you may have. Go ahead, Leslie.
I will do that.
Oh, and please make sure you guys check out our other show from House in the Car, Homeownership Changed My Life. And make sure you check out our Super Series Tuesdays, because we get down with the let me see something. House in the Car is popping. We popping. I not to brag, but I'm bragging. I'm just saying
you're not bragging, girl. You spitting facts. Just take that bragging word out. You spitting facts. Those are facts.
I'm really trying to contain myself because I'm just so excited. I don't know.
Factual.
But we have just extraordinary people dripping with Black excellence and knowledge, determined with fired up passion for building our wealth and changing the narrative and showing just exactly what we're capable of. So we hope to transition people from Millennial Talk Tuesday. Cass, we're gonna slide you on over to Homeownership Changed My Life, where you're gonna talk about being, Mrs. Monopoly and making it rain on a down payment lane, making it rain.
Speak it, girl. Speak it into existence for me. I need all the help I can get. Whenever you need me, I'm gonna be ready to go. Speak it into existence. I appreciate you so much. This is awesome. You guys are doing a great job. This is so cool. We need this platform. Like, we need to encourage each other. We need to help each other. Like, I'm so blessed and so grateful y'all had me on. Like, you have no idea. This is so cool. So
well, if anybody else wants to come on, and have some midday mimosas with the ladies, I'm just saying, you can hit up me, you can hit up Sasha. Please send a DM to House in the Car. We are looking for Papa Millennials like Cass here. And we're also looking for people in the real estate industry or adjacent finance, like anybody who has the same passion for building minority wealth, specifically Black wealth. If you want to be featured on our platform, we would love to have you, because we trying to do things. We trying to do things, and we would just love to have you come on down, just like Cassandra here, and bless us with your presence and have a nice little talk while we sip our midday mimosas.
Thank you guys so much, and we will talk to you soon.